Namaste, Jai Bharat. Have you ever wondered that why the only place where communism is there, why Kerala is electing the communist government? Coalition though. Why the electing communist government? You may get the impression that these people are communists. There are communists. And communists are supposed to understand Marx. Don't think that they know what Marx is. What Marx is, just forget about who. Don't think that they understand dialectical materialism. Don't think that they understand historical materialism, mechanical materialism, or even dialectical materialism. Don't think that they understand the Marxian concepts, basic concepts such as alienation, surplus value, capital, mode of production, relations of production, means of production, etc. Don't ever think that they understand the distinction between commodity and product. Don't have all those thoughts. Most of them don't even understand what is Marxian thoughts. Most of them. Althusser, the Algerian, made a break in Marx, making a humanist Marx and a revolutionary Marx. That itself was flopped because if there is no link between a humanist Marx and revolutionary Marx, then the whole Marxism collapses. Althusser never realizes that. He makes a distinction and he calls it as epistemological break. So don't think that the people of Kerala who vote for communist parties know anything about Marx. They don't know. Now you wonder why there are so many people with Marx, the communist parties. Why did they vote? They re-elected this time, first time in the history of Kerala, as a matter of fact. They elected and then re-elected. There are all kinds of election gimmicks and calculations and supports, all those things there, but still there are people who are with the communist parties, and you wonder why. The answer is simple, straight, and blatant. Because the Communist Party enables them to be gundas, anarchy. The Marx thought about anarchy in a different context. For him, anarchy is a situation where the objective law of the land, they don't believe in nation, the objective law of the land and the subjective law of man, which is the man's inner law of reason, do not contradict one another, then they wouldn't need a state. This is simple. The Marx assumes that there is an inner law of reason in a human being. Of course, his other assumption is very, very fundamental to his entire theory. He thought man is essentially good, which absolutely may not be the case. So there is an inner law of reason, and that inner law of reason and the outer objective law should be one and the same in so-called communism. Then the state can wither away. Then once the subjective law and the objective law are the one and the same thing, there's no law enforcing necessary. So he's invested. It's about a situation where there will be no class, there will be no state, and of course there will be no such law. So that is his anarchy. But this is a different kind of anarchy. Here the anarchy is the party people. This is so with all communist societies, wherever it is. The party people, they can do whatever they feel like. They have their own laws. They create their own methods and they do anything what they want. And the party protects them. Particularly when the party is in rule, will protect them. Nothing will happen to them. No harm will happen to them. They will do anything and they can do anything. And all the state apparatus are in support of in support means they can't help it. The state apparatus makes function at the tune of these communist goons. They have many outfits. One, the Democratic Youth Front, I suppose, of India, DYFI, and then the Students' Federation of India, SFI, Students' Movement. They are the fundamental young blood who would do anything for the so-called party. They something like suicide bombers of the Taliban. Now, why I said all these things are, can you ever imagine a society of Bharat which insults our soldiers? I can't. and I won't. I myself, I've come from a family of soldiers, basically, and I myself was a soldier. What happened is there was an NCC camp recently in Kerala. These things did not come out in limelight, should have come out. They had an NCC camp just before Christmas, and some of the, see, there are NCC officers who are basically civilians, teachers of college, who are trained, and they're called as NCC officers, and they also take part in the camp. And some of the NCC officers went to the commanding officer, is a full colonel. The commanding officer is a full colonel and also son of a soldier. This is what I could gather. Went to him and asked that we have Christmas, so we need holidays. Then, of course, he need not to say this is army, but I don't know, he need not to say this, people should understand army is army. It's not fish market where evening, in the evening you go laughing. It's not possible to have such holidays, but we celebrate here together. All of us we can celebrate. Of course, they do celebrate. There is space for that and time for that. And these NCC officers, as I understand the story, I told the students to report sick. Instigated the students to report sick. Must be around 300 to 500 cadets were there. Instigated them to report sick. And some 30 of them reported sick, saying stomach complaint. Then comes the implication of a food poisoning, which never it's never likely in an army installation. There's a possibility of food poisoning. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at all. Then there was a commotion. The local news, their own newspaper, their own outfits, they made a news of it. It seems, and I don't know, but these are the reports I get. There was hue, cry, all kinds of things. Then the unthinkable happened. They have these outfits of the youth wing in multiple names. Girls and boys, they walk into one evening or daytime. They walk into the camp. They walk into the camp, started arguing with the officers, manhandled them to the extent of going to the commanding officer and manhandling him. Then the local police station refused to file an FIR, and the ruling government, as I understand, supported all those things, and the news was hushed up. The state may be ruled by party X or party Y. The National Cadet Corps has an explicit, strong purpose behind it, and there's no one forcing anyone to join the NCC. They are purely voluntarily going. I myself was in NCC during my college days, and I also went for the intensive military camp when I was a student. We do it with pride. That uniform those days, we wore with pride. Starch it and press it. Younger days, college days. Starch it, press it, polish those boots. We loved the boots. We loved the uniform. It's a great sense of belonging to the nation. And that's what. Until you have a sense of belonging to the nation, all these things shall be meaningless to people. And communists have no nation concept. Even Lenin seemed to have told that nationality is an instrument of oppression at the hands of bourgeoisie. I haven't read that, but I heard. Or I read it, I don't remember. With great pride we wear uniform. You have a sense of belonging to the nation. So these people marched in, breaking the gates and marching in and speaking all rhetorics in vulgar language, manhandling the army officers to the extent of manhandling the colonel. A colonel or any army man with or without weapon, you just can play with him. He knows free hand combat, especially Indian army. You gotta just given them good. And there's some girls with this, I call them mobs, gundas, hooligans, went to the girls' side and told them all kinds of things, imaginable, unimaginable, whatever. Look at that. And no action, nothing. Who's going to teach these idiots nationalism? Such political outfits should be banned. Should be banned. Should not be allowed to function freely in society. They have, of course, they have been doing such things through what later I come to know. They walk into a college, force the principal to do things, even manhandle the principal, and they get their things done. They have their ways, and no one can control them. No one can control them. They will do whatever they feel like. They will behave like a mob in the classrooms, most likely, or in a college or institutions, most likely, and the authorities will dance according to the tunes because they are all politically fearful of these people who are in rule. These things should have been looked into with more seriousness. Unfortunate, but this is not how you treat soldiers of this nation. Absolutely, this is not how one should treat the soldiers of this nation. Without nationalism, what's the purpose of living in a society? A nation society we are, and not a simple nation society. It's a long thing. It's a deep thing. What's the purpose of living? Unfortunate. The parentage also is getting involved in it. The parentage, the social norms, all government. We'll meet with some other kinds of videos. This I don't want to speak about such videos. They're bad. They're bad to everyone. So till we meet, Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.